into it.
Okay. Big story about the former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkonoo. Well, Torkonoo and the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Srem-Sai, are clashing over the $10 million demand by the former Chief Justice, because she's taking the case to ECOWAS. But the Deputy Attorney General seems to differ in thoughts and believes that the former Chief Justice has no case at all. So you have that big story on the front page of the Daily Guide this morning. Torkonoo Deputy AG clash over a $10 million ECOWAS case. Then President John Dramani Mahama swears in 18 new ambassadors. Details page 6 of the Daily Guide as well. And Winston, this Biniri conflict is getting out of hand. 13,253 Ghanaians are seeking refuge in Côte d'Ivoire. We heard from the Interior Minister yesterday here on the show, and I think something ought to be done urgently.
Exactly, something has to be done. I mean, something has to be done. I'm always concerned when, Ghana is supposed to be the safe haven of the sub-region, has, indigents moving into other countries. Yeah. But, yesterday when we spoke to the Interior Minister, the question we asked him was whether the intelligence couldn't pick this. Because we have intelligence officers everywhere. Even though the challenge is that many of them identify themselves as intelligence officers when they are not supposed to. Yeah. They should have picked this law.
Because if you have as many as 13,000, that's almost half of a constituency going.
Yes.
Away.
Yes.
That's dangerous.
Yes. My constituency, where I come from, is less than 30,000.
Oh, really? So that's almost half of that number. Exactly. Significant. We need to do something. Anyway, there's the clash over who actually owns the bragging right over the Srem-Sai Road project. The NPP says it secured $200 million for that project. The roads minister yesterday pointing out on this same show that, of course, that funding was inadequate. Now the president says he's putting that on the big push. We say that whoever is responsible for securing the fund, please secure that. We want our roads fixed. That's all we want.
It's only, you see, it's only in this part of the world that the fight is always about who secured the loan and who did what. The conversation should be about who has transformed lives.
That's all.
And we don't need to. The good thing is that for the users of the road, we don't care who constructed it. What we care about is that the road is.
That's all. That's all we care about.
Of course, we know that. I mean,
when it comes to elections, they can do their own.
No, the government doesn't deny that $200 million was secured. Whatever it is, we know that. If the road is done, it is done.
That's all we want.
Use it.
We'll use it. That's
as simple as that. It's not now that we're going to ask who constructed the road before using it. Anyway, the Ghanaian Times for this morning. Let the world hear about Ghana's success story. President Mahama tasked new envoys, and the police have begun investigations into Akwatia assault. International Solar Alliance. African leaders unite to drive solar power adoption. You can invest in Ghana without fear. Land Minister assures investors. Protect the aged population. Professor Kwache calls for reform of social protection systems. Now, this is something I'm interested in. I'll tell you more about that. Now, Chad snatch stoppage time draw with Ghana.
Winston, that much. Let's not even talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But you see, I asked myself, so how is it possible? I mean, the defenders, they were all watching. Can you?
But can we give them their $5,000 for transport? TNT.
No, we don't get anything.
You're not giving that to them.
Bonus. Agunankum gets mechanized borehole to ease water challenges.
Okay, there's something I'm also excited about. It's on the front page of the Inquisitor. Clean Up Ghana Agenda. Guess what? There's a reloaded format of that policy that President Mahama may be relaunching tomorrow. So it's on the front page of the Inquisitor. We hope that something is done about it. I think we used to do the first Saturday of every month, I believe. I don't know if the approach should change now because we need to deal with that filth. So the local government minister is also on board. We wait to see what will happen. And Ahmed Ibrahim should give us more details about that.
Talking about that, let me just say that, yesterday as part of the Faith to Afashe, MIF, the Minerals Income Investment Fund, organized a massive health screening exercise, at the as part of its CSR activities at the Faith to Afashe.
Then that's good.
Good morning to the team at MIF.
Yes.
I don't know if you're going to Cape Coast.
We should be there, Winston. We should be there.
This weekend. I am not sure I can make it. What I do know is that I will be at Axim next weekend for the Kundum.
Okay.
Kundum Festival. I've told you that.
But we have our ambassador there already.
Yes, Kojo is there.
I've
told you that I have some Nzima cousins.
Yeah.
I need to see my Nzima cousins. So I'm going to be there tomorrow. Next week, we'll have a chat with my Nzima cousins. Great. This weekend, all other things being equal, I must go and finish my setting up of my water tank in the farm.
Anyway, good morning to Kojo Yankson. We hope that you're having fun and a good time in the lead up to the Grand Deba. But anyway, there's also the talk about government to merge Ghana with Telecel. The Inquisitor is talking about that this morning as well. Comes with a picture of Sam George, and we understand that he disclosed that at a staff Deba, so which means that it's confirmed 300 jobs will be secured. There are questions as to what happens to contract staff and the other people who've been engaged as a result of the existence of because mind you, also did another merger. Now they're doing a merger and a merger. Winston, so many questions surrounding this, but has been facing a challenge, in terms of their profitability and other issues. I'm sure probably it might be the key reason in forming this new merger with Telecel again.
Well, it's good. I mean, if they're making losses and someone can acquire them, the measure would ensure they make profit. Why not? Let's get into it.
Okay, there's some EV charging points that we'll be finding at fuel stations now. The Inquisitor is talking about that on the front page. Says that the National Petroleum Authority boss has inaugurated a committee on EV charging points at fuel stations. And Winston, you know that the experience in the UK, for instance, is that you have some EV stations or charging points in your locality, so you can then go charge your EV cars, if I should say, at any of the centers closer to you. So probably that's the experience they want to bring into Ghana. I hope we have the facility, the technology and the infrastructure for that, because that would be great, because then Drive EVGH can just come and surprise both of us with something good this morning.
I saw one of their cars, man. Look, I was at the EcoBank Joy News Habitat Fair, the Achimota Retail Center event. Now, when I got there with Fifi, it was raining actually.
I like the name you mentioned, Fifi. Fifi Kumson.
And we got there, Charlie. When I sat in the car, I said, "Hey, you be Jay,
both of you have taste for quality, and I like that. Winston. Let's say good morning to our friends at Drive EVG.
Drive EVG.
They'll be at a good park, I believe, for the next mini clinic of the Joy.
You have to look for money. You see, I've told you that in all your gettings, get
money too. Okay.
But they have a good package. You can deposit and drive.
Wow.
They have a package that will get the vehicle. So Charlie is good.
I see how you're melting for the EV.
Sweet. If they say car is sweet, I understand.
Wistonia.
Pleasant. Now, the Business and Financial Times, a royal gesture. Dasibre Ekwama Boating donates life-saving equipment to 3 hospitals. We remain Africa's safest mining investment hub, Lands Minister. Government signs deal with ISA to roll out solar irrigation pumps. AGI raises alarm over looming collapse of rubber processing plants. Chamber of Mines pushes back on impending mining reforms. Diaspora buyers show strong interest in Forest Hill Estate. And GRA embarks on taxation study visit. The back page, Enterprise Trustees Master Trust Pension Schemes asset hit over 7 billion Ghana cedis.
Right.
And how collaboration will strengthen West Africa's industrial rise. It means we can bring you the online news.
Yes, a sad development anyway, but Winston, we have to talk about it. My Joy Online has that big story. Some GES officials took as low as 60 cedis to aid cheating in the 2025 BECE. That's the new expose we have.
GES. I've seen that.
My goodness.
It airs on Monday, but GES officials.
60.
My goodness.
60 Ghana cedis, Winston.
60 Ghana cedis.
Can you imagine?
To help young ones cheat.
This is sad.
What are we doing to ourselves?
Anyway, we just hope that the Education Minister, the Honorable Haruna Idris, will deal with that when of course, the details, the fine details come out. I'm sure he's, even heard of this already, so he should be acting really fast on that. Some more stories on myjoyonline.com. Ocean resources are key to our prosperity. That's according to the tourism minister. And the World Cup 2026 qualifiers, Black Stars blow chance to go 6 points clear after draw with Chad. I am a bridge between government policy and mining productivity, says the new Minerals Commission CEO. Mr. EC has been reassigned. He's now technical advisor to the Lands and Natural Resources Minister, who we understand is in Australia now.
My senior.
Yeah.
Martin AC.
Oh, yeah. Senior AC.
He's an old student of Mali School.
Oh, I see. But great guy, by the way.
In fact, a great guy.
Yeah, great guy. Anyway, more stories here. Ocean. Okay, so it's probably the same thing that the tourism minister is just saying. 20-year-old man stabbed to death in fight over plastic chair. Strange things are happening this morning. And the BOG is suspending remittance partnership of 3 payment service providers. And Winston, it's all perhaps part of the crackdown on this strict forex regime that the BOG wants to implement, because the reasons they are giving for some of these decisions will be brought to you shortly. But what we know is that some of the financial services would have to hold on, and we'll be bringing some more details as we go on with the show. Now, we have some more stories here about World Cup 2026 qualifiers, what we've learnt from the Black Stars frustrating draw with Chad. All of those stories you'd find online at myjoyonline.com. City Newsroom is also here talking same about the BOG boss. Says BOG suspends tap send 4 others over remittance breaches. Winston, you know that Ghana is one of the top remittance receiving countries, right? And of course, it also has an impact on forex. So each time issues of remittance comes up, the BOG is very, very concerned about that. But we know that the 5 would include tap send. You have Top Connect, you have Remit Choice, Send App, and AfriX. In the previous administration, there was an attempt to clamp down on them, but they seem to resurface because of their OTP activities, because most of them are operating online, and so cracking down on them is quite difficult, isn't it, Winston, for anyone who would want to crack down on a technology-driven activity? I'm wondering how the BOG will be successful with that.
Well, the BOG knows how to deal with that.
Yes.
It also added a bank, UBA.
Yes.
Also had their suspension suspended for a month.
Yes.
Also. So, it's all to bring about confidence in the system. Now, the Ghana city not doing well, so the BOG is trying everything possible to ensure that the last time I heard the governor say that sometimes you could have as much as 1 million people with $1 million, and they don't even disclose it. So it's good we're doing all of these things, but a lot more would have to be done. Beyond all of these, also, it's important that we transform the economy. The transformation of the economy is very key and is going to help in dealing with all of these.
Okay, some more stories on City Newsroom Online. MTN's focus is financial inclusion, not banking. Group CEO clarifies. Then the multi-choice blues. Multi-choice must listen and obey. That's according to the Zabzugu MP, as he's backing government's deadline for price reduction. Just a day more, Winston, for that whip to be cracked. And I hope that we'll find some amicable solution to this, because mind you, there's also international dynamics here. Multi-choice is at the heartbeat of South African economy. It's been one of their best-selling brands. So if you want to deal with them, you would have to be mindful of what's happening back there, and how, of course, that could ruffle relations between Ghana and South Africa. Probably we have to watch that. But the minister says, well, it's more about regulatory policies, right? So we're just hoping that by tomorrow, at least MultiChoice and the Ministry of Communications will be able to deal with that issue. Then there's the talk about TDC. This one says, I accept my dismissal from TDC in good faith. Apologies. That's from the Tema Central MPP Secretary. And the City Newsroom Online is still talking about that Binyeri clash and the fact that they're working to restore peace as well. So these are some of the stories that you would find online, including our very own knew Mr. Presido. You know the man I'm talking about, right? Our boss, who's now president now, Edu Domfe, who's now the Ashanti Regional Chairperson of the Ghana Journalists Association. So we say good morning to Kofi Edu Domfe, who has been elected now, and you see a picture of him on City Newsroom. He's a big man now.
Yeah.
Presido.
He won by one, and there was a rerun.
That sounds like a parliamentary race, isn't it?
Then after the rerun,
I want a big gap.
And that one, so he gave them the big gap. They wanted the gap.
Yeah.
So he gave it to them.
So we say congratulations to Kofi Edu Domfe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now let's
great.
get into the details of the stories. The first one: protect the aged population. Professor Kwachi calls for reform of social protection systems. Now, a population expert from the University of Ghana, Professor Stephen Owusu Kwanche, has called for urgent policy measures to safeguard the health and financial security of Ghana's aging population as life expectancy continues to rise. According to him, the notable increase in life expectancy, although a good indicator of improved health, economic and nutritional development, also had potential to put a strain on the country's social security systems. Okay, so in an interview with the Ghanaian Times, he warned that the country was gradually transitioning to an aging society, with many citizens now expected to live well beyond retirement age. So he has seen, while other adults contributed valuable experience and insight, their vulnerability to degenerative and non-communicable diseases placed heavy demands on medical service. And on pensions, he warned that if this trend continues and national pension fund money such as SNIT are not strategic enough, the system could eventually collapse. This is a quote. Said, people may not be contributing enough to sustain benefits for retirement. For retirees who may live 30 years beyond retirement.
This has been a big issue, and you recall there was this time we brought this gentleman from Stanbic, I believe, who was you're a very good friend, I believe, who was coaching us on EcoBank, I should say, who was coaching us on this issue about pensions, and it's striking to know that many people may not even receive up to 3,000 cedis after retirement. That's a very, very key issue that we need to watch.
It's your best of 3 years. Best of 3 years, and the number of years. So look at the average and the number of years
you spent.
You contributed. If you worked for say 40 years, I think you're entitled to 80% from SNIT.
Of the best 3.
Yes.
Right.
If you worked below that, you probably may get 60%. So many of us are likely to get 60% of our basic salary, of your basic salary.
Oh my goodness!
When you go on retirement.
Really bad.
Okay, so the point is that we must always ensure, and many people actually do not check their basic salaries. They say, I want this net. Then your employer says, okay, no problem, gives you a lot of allowances, increases it. That's the end of your story. Check how much is your basic salary. How much is it?
Really, we'll see what happens. But anyway, this interesting one about the former Chief Justice, we thought that would have been the end, but you know that it's not over, because the former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkonoo is in the ECOWAS Court. She's, of course, been clashing with the Deputy Attorney General over the case filed in the ECOWAS Court. You know that the lawyers of Justice Torkonoo filed a 10 million suit before the regional court. They are insisting that the court should proceed and rule on the matter because the government has not provided its response to the matter. Well, the explanation we're getting from the Deputy Attorney General, which is captured here in the Daily Guide, is that the Deputy AG is disagreeing because they claim that they filed an initial objection to the case, and they've been waiting for a ruling on that. And probably, let me just quote that briefly before we go. It says that our preliminary thought is that if we are objecting to the jurisdiction of the court, and the court has taken arguments and has adjourned to give a ruling one way or the other, we do not exactly think that we have to file a substantive issue. This is because the question before the court is whether the court has jurisdiction or not. So that is why he says the government of Ghana has not provided their response in that ECOWAS court. So we wait to see what the court's pronouncement will be on that.